everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we're going to learn how to add web design and development solution IndiaMART Enquiries to MS Excel. So I am an owner of a web design agency and I receive a lot of IndiaMART inquiries on daily basis. Now here my objective is to create a record of all the leads that are generated using IndiaMART by my potential customers or clients at one place so that my team can manage the record. Now doing this manually takes me a lot of time. So what I did was I simply created an automation using Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. So here in this automation, what we are going to learn is that as soon as we are going to receive an inquiry with the help of IndiaMART by any of my potential customers or clients, automatically the record of that inquiry details is going to be created in my Microsoft Excel worksheet. And for that, we are going to create an automation between IndiaMART and Microsoft Excel with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you want to learn about this amazing automation, then let me take you all to my screen. Welcome to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to add web design and development solution IndiaMART inquiries to MS Excel. So I run a web design agency and I receive a steady stream of inquiries through IndiaMART every day. Before automating, I had to manually copy each inquiry into my Excel sheet, which was time consuming and prone to mistakes. By setting up this automation, every time a new inquiry has been generated using IndiaMART by any of my lead, it is automatically added to my Excel sheet with details like client's name, contact information, and the requirements. This also allows me to prioritize inquiries, assist them to my team, and respond faster, giving me more time to focus on growing on my business while staying organized and efficient. And we are going to be creating this amazing automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. As we are going to do that, you will be landed towards the Pabbly Connect's dashboard. As on the dashboard, you can see in order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on the top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow, I'm going to give it as Add Web Design and Development Solutions for IndiaMART Inquiries to MS Excel. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. Next, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. So these are the folders from which I'm going to select IndiaMART Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to a workflow and selecting the folder, let's click on Create. In order to create a workflow is created in the name of Add Web Design and Development Solution IndiaMART Inquiries to MS Excel, and there are 2 windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. Trigger and Action are the 2 most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these 2 concepts. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means that action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first, and for the trigger application, what we are going to do is we are going to select it as IndiaMART. As with the help of IndiaMART, I am receiving a lot of inquiries for my business. My objective is that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated by any of my potential customers and clients using IndiaMART, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. That is why for the trigger application, I'm going to select it as IndiaMART. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as new leads. As whenever a new lead is going to be generated with the help of IndiaMART, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. Okay. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with the webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we are going to connect IndiaMART to Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. Firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, we are going to log into our IndiaMART account. So as you can see that I've already logged into my IndiaMART account. Now I'm going to connect this account to Pabbly Connect, and for doing that, from the left side of the panel, click on this Lead Manager option right over here. After coming to Lead Manager, from the left side of the panel, you can see it says Menu button on the top. We are going to click on it. Under Menu, click on Import and Export export leads. From these given options, click on the Push API button right over here. As we're going to click on it, you will be forwarded towards the Push API window. Over here, it is asking for us to select the source. So in the drop down, we have not received the given source that we want. So I'm going to select the source over here as other. It is asking for the platform name. So the platform name over here, I'm going to give it as Pabbly Connect. So this is the platform name. And for the URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. After that, I'm going to click on the Save Details button. It is asking for the reason to be given. So for the reason, I'm going to select a random reason from the drop down. You can select your own reason. Then click on the Click to Generate OTP button right over here. It is asking for the OTP. So I'm going to enter the OTP right over here. So as I've entered the OTP, I've clicked on the submit button. You can see right over here, the webhook URL has now been successfully added to my IndiaMART account. As the webhook URL is now successfully added to my IndiaMART account, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. You can see it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now what we are going to do is we are going to check whether IndiaMART is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not by generating a test lead. Okay. So now I'm going to generate a test lead and I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of that test lead being generated or not. For generating the test lead, I'm going to log into my user account. As you can see that this is my user account right over here, and on the search bar I'm going to search for the dummy product that I'm selling using IndiaMART. I'm going to search for the dummy product that I've created. I'm going to select it. So this is the dummy product that I've created. I'm going to click on the contact supplier button. Over here it is asking for the message that we want to ask as an inquiry. So for the message over here, I'm going to write it as, "Hi, we are looking to redesign our current website. Can you please provide a code?" So you can see right away, this is the inquiry that I want to generate. I'm going to click on the submit button. It is asking for the GST number right over here. So I'm going to write in a dummy GST number, then click on the submit button. You can see right over here, it says your details are sent. As the details of the inquiry has been forwarded, I'm going to open my Pabbly Connect workflow and I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the test lead being generated using IndiaMART or not. For that, I'm going to open my workflow that I've created. And I'm going to scroll down, and yes, you can see right over here I have received the response of the new dummy inquiry being generated. Over here, if you're going to tally the response, we have received the query ID. The subject of the inquiry is right over here. State comes as Madhya Pradesh. The name of the lead, that is Angel, you can see right over here. For the mobile number, you can see I've received the mobile number of my lead. Email as testuser@pabblytudes.com. Country as IN India, that's the country code of India. Company as test company. City as Bhopal. Address as Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. With the date of the inquiry time being generated, the product name as you can see right over here, and the dummy message that we have written, that is, "Hi, we are looking to redesign our current website. Can you please provide us a code?" So this is the dummy message as you can see right over here, with the name also over here. Okay, so as we have received the message, the response of the inquiry being generated, this means that IndiaMART is now successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. Now whenever a new lead is going to be generated by any of my potential customers or clients using IndiaMART, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. Okay, as the trigger setup is done, now we're going to set up our action step. And for the action application, as we want to create a record of our new leads in our Microsoft Excel worksheet, so that is why for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Microsoft Excel, as I want to create a record of the lead details in my Microsoft Excel worksheet that I've created. Okay, and for the action event, I'm going to select as add row to worksheet, as I want to add a row of lead details in this worksheet right over here. That is why for the action event, I'm going to select it as add row to worksheet. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. As I'm going to do that, a new window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, click on connect with Microsoft Excel. A new window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the permission. So I'm going to click on this accept button. As the save process in my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect, so I'm going to click on this accept button. As I've done that, you can see it's fully authorized Microsoft Excel to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing it, see it is asking for us to select a workbook. So for the workbook, I've created a workbook in the name of IndiaMART lead details, and in this workbook, I want to create a record of the lead details. So the workbook over here, I'm going to search for IndiaMART lead details. Okay, I'm going to select the workbook right over here. As I've selected the workbook, next it is asking for us to select the drive ID. As soon as you go to select the workbook, the drive ID is automatically going to be selected. So you do not need to do anything with this step, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a worksheet. So I've created a single worksheet in the name of sheet 1. You can see right over here. So the worksheet over here, I'm going to select as sheet 1. After that, you can see it is asking for column A, unique query ID, name, email, phone number, company, address, city, state, pin code, country, product name, and the message. So these are the same fields that I've created. You can see see right over for the column A, unique query ID, name, email, phone number, country, address, city, state, pin code, country, product name, and the message. These are the same fields that I've created in my Microsoft worksheet. Okay. So as I have created these same fields in my Microsoft Excel worksheet, these are the same fields in my workflow right over here. For the data of these fields, we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, you can see this was the previous step of this workflow, that is IndiaMART new leads. And as I'm going to click on it, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. Over here, it is asking for the unique query ID. In my previous response, I have received the unique query ID, as you can see right over here. So I'm going to select this data from my previous response of the unique query ID. As I've selected the unique query ID from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. Similarly, for the name, I'm going to map the data of the lead's name right over here. I'm going to map the data of the lead's name. It is asking for the email, so I'm going to map the data of the email right over here of my lead from my previous response. So I'm going to map the data of the email of my lead. Next, it is asking for the phone number, so I'm going to map the data of the phone number of my lead. I'm going to map the data. After that, it is asking for the company, so I'm going to map the data of the company right over here. So this is the company. I'm going to map the data. For the address over here, I'm going to map the data of the address. So this is the address. I'm going to map it. For the city over here, I'm going to map the data of the city of my lead. So I'm going to map it. Similarly, for the state, map the data of the state right over here. I'm going to map it. For the pin code over here, I'm going to map the data of the pin code. I'm going to map the data of the pin code. For the country over here, I'm going to map the data of the country. So this is the country. I'm going to map the data. For the product name, I'm going to map the data of the product name that I've received. And for the message, I'm going to map the data of the message that I've received. I'm going to map it. Okay. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this Save and Send Test Request button. As I've done that, you can see right over here, we have received the response, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my Microsoft worksheet and I'm going to check whether the record of the lead details has been created in my worksheet or not. For that, I'm going to open my Microsoft Excel worksheet. So this is my worksheet. I'm going to refresh this page from here. As I've refreshed the page, you can see right over here, the lead details record has been created in my Microsoft Excel worksheet. For the unique query ID, the ID, name of the lead as Angel, email as testuser@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, the mobile number of the lead, company over here as test company, address as Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, city as Bhopal, state as Madhya Pradesh, pin code, we have not received the pin code, so this blank field is right over here, country as India, and for the product name over here, we have received the product name that is right over here. Okay, and for the message, we have received the message that was generated, that is, hi, we are looking for to redesign our current website, can you please provide a code? Okay, so this was a message. As the record of the lead has been created in my Microsoft Excel worksheet, this means that we successfully created an automation between IndiaMART and Microsoft Excel with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of a web design agency and I receive a lot of inquiries by my potential customers and clients using IndiaMART. My objective is that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated by any of my potential customers and clients using IndiaMART, automatically the record of the lead details should be created in my Microsoft Excel worksheet that I've created. And for that, I've created this amazing automation between IndiaMART and Microsoft Excel with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.